Hello One Piece enthusiasts, I'm the One Piece nerd, and today let's talk about why nobody understands Blackbeard and Blackbeard's next move. So, as of chapter 1059, Blackbeard has made his move. Although it didn't go completely according to plan, it did do something for him. So, first I want to address the fact that people have been complaining about the fact that Blackbeard didn't want to fight Rayleigh because Rayleigh is stronger than Blackbeard, and he got scared, and so the conflict would resolve easily with Bo Hancock having to receive no damage whatsoever. That's wrong. Some of you guys can be so naive at times. We know Rayleigh is super strong. Rayleigh was the first mate of the Pirate King. He is definitely strong, but he's not in his prime. He doesn't have nearly as much strength as he had when he sailed the Grand Line with Roger, and he's 76 for God's sake. So you can't expect someone like him to basically go one-on-one against Blackbeard and win. He said it himself that in this day and age, in my body, I would not be able to defeat Blackbeard single-handedly. It would be trouble for Blackbeard, but it isn't easy defeat for Blackbeard as well. So you guys want to say, why did Blackbeard retreat then? He has literally two of the strongest fruits in the world, going up against seemingly Boa, if he seemingly Boa and Rayleigh. Again, look, if Boa were to be shut down, Blackbeard would have lost two of his very crucial commanders, a lot of his fleet, which at this point you do not want to sacrifice, and having to go up against Rayleigh. You're gonna lose a lot of your men, you're gonna lose two of your commanders, and you're not gonna go unscathed. You might be able to finish Rayleigh off, but you're gonna have a hard time. You're gonna have a really hard time. So, with that being said, he doesn't want to risk it right now. Boa's fruit and defeating Rayleigh is not as important to him as saving his crewmates right now. Because, yes, Boa's fruit, he couldn't obtain Boa's fruit. Okay? Now, you guys want to say, but it's the level of fruit. It's not actually, Blackbeard is not beautiful. The fruit wouldn't work on him. Yeah, true. But the literal definition of the Merinomi is basically it's a drug. It sort of acts like a drug. Someone who has the fruit, basically, if you show emotion towards that person according to what he or she is, you're gonna be turned into stone. For Boa Hancock, it's her beauty. She's beautiful. If you have lust and you have jealousy, you're gonna be turned into stone. For Blackbeard, people who hate him or despise him would be turned into stone. That's how the fruit works. I don't know how canon the information is, but this is literally the definition of the fruit. You guys can go check it out. So that's why he wanted the Merinomi to begin with. As for the fact that he didn't, means that it wasn't worth the risk, because he still has to find Laughtail, he has to find the One Piece, he has to defeat the world government, then he can become king of the world, or king of the pirates, or whatever he wants to be. If he wants to be a true tyrant, you're going to have to defeat the Straw Hats, you're going to have to defeat Shanks, you're going to have to defeat the world government, and for Blackbeard to lose two of his commanders is not worth the shot. Really not worth the shot. We don't know anything about, we have no idea about Vasco Shot, what his powers are, but we know Katarina Devon has the Kurama fruit, I like to call it the Nine-Tails fruit, or whatever you call it. It's very powerful. And, well, if we don't know what Vasco Shot is, and maybe even amongst his crew, maybe he had members that were actually very strong, comparatively strong, for his crew to become stronger in the future. So my point is, it wasn't worth the risk. And no, Blackbeard wouldn't have been able to defeat Rayleigh very easily, and Rayleigh wouldn't have been able to defeat Blackbeard. That is fact. Now, we move on to his next move. So as of this incident, we know Kobe's been abducted. It's very weird. When I got the spoilers for it, and I really hated it. I didn't really understand it. I don't understand it right now either. Going through the chapter, I guess Blackbeard had some sort of motive. Now, as to why Blackbeard was able to capture Kobe, very simple. There was an admiral, the strongest marine in the squad that was sent to Amazon Lily was Kobe. There was a vice admiral, but that's not enough to beat Blackbeard. Rayleigh said, I will dissolve the conflict, and I would want no funny business. Rayleigh was never in the interest of protecting the Marines. His only interest was saving Boa Hancock and Amazon Lily. So, if by happen chance Kobe gets in the mess and Blackbeard decides to do anything with the Marines, really can't stop it because that's not his priority. He couldn't care less about the Navy. So the fact that Blackbeard could abduct Kobe is very simple. Marines weren't strong enough. Kobe has now been abducted, and I believe this is true. This cannot be false case because the entirety of the Marines know about it. And now let's talk about why he would capture Kobe. He would need some sort of a compensation. This is the first time ever we've seen so far that Blackbeard has failed to do something. Something he wanted to do significantly. Yes, he failed to capture Luffy because he captured Ace. That was a compensation. But it was enough. The reasons were the same. You take Luffy, you take him to the Marines, you become a warlord, and then you get access to Impel Down. And you get Ace, you get access to Impel Down, and that was his main goal. As for Whitebeard's fruit, I don't know how that could have happened if Luffy had been captured by Blackbeard, but that's for another story. But what I'm trying to say is he's always made a major move, and he hasn't made a move that doesn't get him at least 20-30% ahead of the rest of the game. My point is, and the fact I was mentioning it, Blackbeard makes three sorts of moves. One, laying low. Second, getting devil fruits that are strong. And number three, making big moves. And when he makes big moves, he makes a turn. He literally turns the world upside down. It has happened every single time. So, by capturing Kobe, one of the simplest explanations that everyone could give was that he's just going to hand Kobe over to Cross Guild, get his bounty, and be done with it. I don't think that's enough. That is not enough of a reason for Blackbeard to take Kobe. Because if it's money he wants, he can get it anywhere he wants. He's a pirate, for God's sake. So if anyone's trying to say that, he's going to take him to Cross Guild and he's going to get the bounty and that's it, no, that's not going to happen. I think he's going to make a negotiation with the Navy. I've thought a lot about it, and the only conclusion I can get to is a negotiation with the Navy. He wants something from the Navy that we have yet to know about, and he's going to compensate it by negotiating with Kobe. Now, I had this question for a very long time. Is Kobe worth the negotiation? Are the Marines going to sacrifice everything they have, or a lot of things they have, for the sake of one captain? Yes, he has the epithet of hero. The only other Marine that we know thus far who has that epithet is Garp. If anyone in the Marines wanted to take an action against Blackbeard for capturing Kobe, it would be Garp and no one else. I'm saying no one else because no one actually cares about Kobe enough. We don't know his influence in the Marine world. We really have no idea. Yes, he's been considered a hero after the Rocky Port incident. We know a lot of people know about him, and he has some sort of respect within the Navy. But is he that special to sacrifice some part of the Navy to give to Blackbeard? It doesn't make a lot of sense. Now that I recall, the Navy said, Green Bull specifically said at the end of Wano that the Marines are in trouble and there's a lot going around, so we couldn't invest a lot of resources into capturing the Straw Hats in Wano. Which means the trouble has already been made, the deed has already been done. The attack on Boa Hancock happened when we were in Wano. And at present time, Boa is alive, and well, Kobe is captured. And the world has news about it. Which means, if the Navy is in shambles, no puns intended, if the Navy is really in shambles, That means they're definitely dealing with Kobe. They have pressure from Cross Guild. They have the fact that Kaido and Big Mom are defeated is a huge problem for the balance of power in the world. And you have Kobe to deal with. It's going to be a huge mess. And we have Luffy on the loose. I think the Navy would want some sort of there's definitely a negotiation going on with the Blackbeard pirates. But as to what Blackbeard really wants, it's hard to guess. He might want devil fruits, but is that really enough? He might want the pacifistas though. He really might want the pacifistas, I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding if he makes the pacifistas. And is it worth the sacrifice? Maybe. Because if you're going to go down the rabbit hole of Kobe getting captured and Blackbeard basically starting another Paramount War, it's very unrealistic. I mean, who does he expect to come save Kobe? Luffy. He has no idea that Luffy has connections with Kobe. He knows Kobe is influential because of what he did in Marineford and of Rocky Port incident. But maybe he is important enough for Blackbeard to take and to get something out of the Marines. As to what it is, I say it's the pacifistas. It could be something more important. But you guys decide in the comment sections below. Thank you all so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to like and subscribe. Put down your thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, peace.